Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
I forgot to add myself to the stage, y'all. I was just telling Jan in the background that yes, I'm aware that I have. She didn't ask. I was just telling her that yes, I'm aware that my makeup is a little dark around the eyes today. But yesterday I was bending over to pick up something. I don't even remember what it was, and I hit the corner of one of those short bookcases, and there's actually a little spot. I can feel it right there where it hit, but it's black in here. So I was either going to look like I had a black eye or look like I was being very dramatic with the makeup. But then for some reason I felt compelled to tell you that I know the makeup is a little dramatic. So it is good to see everybody. I've got some guests in the back and I'm waiting on one more. Not sure why she's running late or they are running late. I always try to get those pronouns right, y'all. And we are waiting on Indigo, hoping that they show up pretty quick. I didn't bring another phone in here to message her, so if anybody has her in your friends group in on Facebook, you might message her and go, "Hello, we're live." So anyway, I um I don't dare click over and try to do it because I will undoubtedly lose you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It is good to see the ones that are coming in. Let me bump this up a little bit so I can say hi. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wonder how many times I say that. We need to get somebody to like clip every time I say that wasn't what I was wanting to do, and make like a compilation compilation, right? Anyway, make a short out of it. So anyway, Marilee, it is always good to see you. So glad to have you back from a little respite. Yes, we did miss you and glad to have you back. And Carnosol is here. Richard, it is always good to see you. Ben, hello. Never in Aaron is here. Always good to see you too. Absolutely. Marilee says, Richard, that bacon cult is pretty dangerous. Oh, I'm telling you, if there was a bacon cult, y'all, I would be in it. I would give it up for a bacon cult. I do not know where Indigo is at. I know that they were excited. I don't know if they got the timing right. So, um, yeah. I love Witchy Trista. I wondered if that was you that was on there that she was talking to, Ben, the other night. I thought, I bet that is Ben, but I was like busy, had my hands full, and couldn't like. There they are. They're here. But yeah, we could do like Witchy Trista does and do a drinking game out of every time she says sorry. Yeah. I hope she's having trouble or they're having trouble getting on. So we're going to give it just a little bit more time. Eric, it is good to see you. I don't know. Um, your webcam's not working, but your mic is. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We will have you with a picture or not, right? So, absolutely. So, yeah, Marilee, dang, now I want bacon. Me too. I absolutely like bacon. Oops. I'm sorry. I'm trying to I don't know what I'm trying to do. That's not what I was trying to do. Come on. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ben. They're here now, but thank you. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I have y'all, I have 24 questions. But they are multiple choice, and if it gets to where it seems like it's dragging on too long, I'll just cut it short, but they're all good questions. It took me literally 3 rewrites to get these right, so, you know, every time, Mark would come around, he'd be like, "What are you doing now?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm reworking my, Culty, religion, whatever game that I'm gonna do." And he goes, "I thought you did that. I thought you had that all written up last night." I'm like, "I did." And then we'd have to like postpone it for some reason. So then I would rewrite it again with different questions. And, I just was like, those are too easy or those are too hard. So now I have kind of a mix of both. So anyway, so hello, friends and chosen family, because I do believe that we are very much a chosen family. Rule of thumb, the answer is always C. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Indigo, I am glad. I was like, if somebody has her or has them on your friends on Messenger, can you please message and say, "We're live. Hello." So, yeah, and I promise I am gonna try to get those pronouns right. It is so weird how I think with the correct pronouns, but I speak with the wrong ones. So, anyway, we're going to get started. So, we are going to be playing a game tonight that I have kind of decided to call Colt's Conspiracy or Susie's Caffeinated Charged Brain or Imagination, whichever. So, we all know that humans are very creative, that we are creative with religions, we are very creative with apocalyptic predictions, and we're creative with aliens. We have got some pretty creative humans out there. And tonight, I'm going to read to y'all some really bizarre beliefs, okay? And then I want you to decide if it was a cult, if it was some wackadoodle conspiracy theory, or maybe you don't think it's all that wackadoodle. I'm not judging. Or if it's just Susie's brain with too much caffeine. But these are all gonna be I have 24 questions. They are all gonna be multiple choice, so there's no, you know, no drama, no fear here. You got a 33.33333 whatever chance of getting it right, and maybe even more than that. So I want everybody to just have some fun. I absolutely want the chat, and if you're here on the replay, I want you to join in too. That's what we love. We love to have your feedback, especially live, but of course on the replay as well. So, it seemed like there was something else I was going to say. Oh, I know. Um, After we reveal the answer, I will tell you just a short little, I mean, short history or not really history, but like just a little bit of information about the cult. Okay. That was the correct answer. So, if you kind of file those a little bit of that kind of stuff back, it might help you pick the answers to other questions. So, I know that's hard, but I think after a little bit, you might kind of, you'll start thinking, "Oh, wait a minute. That was this, so it can't be that," or, whatever. So, I'm really yeah. No, you're not gonna let them answer first. You all on the screen are gonna answer first. I could ask you last, though, if you want. Yes. I know, Indigo, a gym that goes by them or they or them. I know. I know it. I just don't think of it every time I start to talk. So, hey, Vernon, it is good to see you too. Thanks for coming in. I am actually gonna get my guests on the stage now. We have Jersey Bear, we have Carrie, and some people were wanting to see the two of them on screen together. So here they are off of each other. And we also have Indigo
Hi,
Twins.
everybody. Nice to meet you,
Hi.
Carrie. Hi, Jan.
It's an all female whatever chat tonight. We're gonna have some fun. I really think so. I think that this is gonna be something else. So I thank all of you for being here. And I have the hardest part about this game for me is keeping track of who said what. So I actually wrote down like A is this, B is that, C is this. And so when you answer, I'm gonna put what you answered next to it. And then at the end, I will tally it up and see who wins. And there is going to be a prize, but it's a secret. I'm not telling what the prize is. Only the winner will know. And that will be
Isn't it like 144,000? And I was gonna say that before they typed it, but they asked
crazy.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, Indigo. Right?
the Jehovah's Witness. That's what
Yes,
someone put in the chat.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
I actually had a Kingdom Hall closed down up the street from where I live. It was crazy. I was walking by one day and I was like, "Oh no, there's fire engines!" And then I saw Kingdom Hall in the building. And I'm like, "Oh, interesting."
All right, you guys are in for a rude awakening here.
Yeah.
My fake husband.
Merrily,
he was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I know a lot about cults, guys.
Yeah,
I did. Long story short, how I came across Susie was I did deep dive on cults starting before lockdown, which is not a healthy topic when you're isolated alone in your apartment. But here we go. Then I was like, "What's Scientology? That looks like a cult." And then I deep dived, and then I found YouTube, and then I was like, "Who's Susie?"
Yeah,
and that's how I got here.
I get it.
I know. I'm always wondering how people, get here because, like, I was sitting actually in the bathtub the other night. I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, how did people that started watching me, especially early on, even how did they find me? Because like nobody knew me. I mean, I was watching all kinds of channels and everything, and so it's really interesting to me because like the channels that come up, they say for you kind of deal, and they like show me all this stuff. It's all over the place because I'm all over the place with
I started with the FLDS.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. If we're saying where I really started when I was like 15, listen, I grew up watching America's Most Wanted. Cults are not a big jump from there. But I started, with the regulars, like, the Flavor Aid and the Nike shoes and, all in the 70s and 80s. And then as I dug deeper, I was like, what's FLDS? And that's a deep rabbit hole. And then while I was watching, like, I've been liberated from the Mormon cult, it was like, you should watch this video by someone from the Aftermath. And then I was like, what's the Aftermath? And then I got into like that side of the Scientology community with like Mike Rinder and them. And then I found Leah's documentary. And then I found all the people who escaped. And I was like, this is crazy.
It is crazy.
And then I started protesting, and then I stopped protesting because they're scary.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I did use an
really
alias
right now.
and say that I lived at the FBI when I went into their Chicago location. But like at the same time, I was like, these people are crazy, and my sister has 4 kids. We're gonna take a step back from protesting.
Yeah.
Because they are insane.
Yeah.
Hey, Vernon, it is. I think I said that, but again, hello, good to see you. And yeah, I knew you from Reese too. But so anyway, let's go ahead and get started because I think this is going to be fun, and I'm sure that we'll, have little comments about things as we go. And
And then there was Reese and Tommy, but I kind of blocked that part out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are blocking that part out. That is a big. Okay, question number 1. Okay, so this is a group believed that a comet would hide a spaceship behind it and would take their souls to a higher dimension. So is that A, Heaven's Gate, B, Scientology, or C, the Moonies?
It could be A or C.
Yeah.
That's the tricky thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's going first? Who's
So
answering
Dan, you
first?
want to go first?
I'm going to go with A.
A? Okay, I'm going to put, I don't know if I can get my pen to write. So Jan is going with A. How about Carrie?
Yeah, total. I'm going with A.
Okay. And Indigo?
My instinct says A.
And the answer is A.
Hey,
Heaven's Gate.
one right.
See, I mentioned them earlier with the shoes.
Yeah.
But I remember that was in the 90s, right? I think I was a teenager. It was frightening because of what that comet was doing. It was frightening. I remember.
Oh yeah, Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I have a similar legal name. Anyways,
So it says it was founded in the 1970s by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. They believed that Earth was about to be recycled and that a spacecraft trailing the Halley-Bopp comet would take their souls to a higher level of existence. In 1997, 39 members died in a coordinated mass self-unaliving in California, believing it would transport them to that.
And it's really eerie. They made goodbye videos.
Yes.
Before they drank the poison. And when they were found, they found all the video footage of these people. And it's really sad because family members had been like trying to find them, and there were like missing persons reports. And then they all bought the same Nike shoes, and Nike is like, we are not affiliated. And fun fact, they do not make that shoe anymore. They stopped selling it.
I mean,
they stopped selling it. It's so sad.
It is sad. It is very sad. I remember watching like a documentary, and it was about the parents who lost their children. And what really stuck with me, there was a father, and he said that wasn't a mass unaliving, that was murder. It was one unaliving, the rest was murder. And he's right. He's right.
Yeah, it's like
God, it gives me
like
chills.
the danger. So like the reason that people get so angry about cults, in case you're like living under a rock and have not seen the countless cults out there, anybody who is in a vulnerable part of their life for any reason can be exploited by a cult. And you can have a PhD, you could just have graduated high school. They often target people who are like single parents or people who are already faithful in some way, shape, or form. And they start with like the self-help. They all start with the self-help stuff. I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
Which you can't see because my camera's off. But like they do these self-help courses that get you sucked in, and you want to be like a better you. And so by the time you've invested thousands of dollars into these courses, you're already trapped.
Yeah.
In case anybody
Absolutely.
needed to, a reminder that anyone can be targeted by a cult.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, number 2, y'all. A leader claimed that he could physically prevent war through meditation. Now, and y'all know I'm terrible with names. So, it is A, Rajneesh movement, B, transcendental meditation movement, or C, Branch Davidians. What leader thought that they could physically prevent war?
Hmm.
I guess I should maybe keep that since I have things written on it.
We prevent war.
So,
Well, I'm sorry. What was the last one?
Branch Davidians.
Mm.
So, Jan, what do you think?
I'm going with A again.
Okay. And Carrie?
Same. I'm going with JJ. I'm going with A.
And what about you, Indigo?
Is it B? I feel like I learned about B fairly recently.
Okay. And the answer is B.
Oh,
Nice.
Transcendental Meditation Movement. The founder, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, promoted meditation as a tool for personal and global peace, at times claiming that large groups meditating together could reduce crime and prevent war.
And I believe he hit big in California. I want to say people started just opening up like independent affiliated yoga studios. And then people would be like, they'd be like, oh my God, like last Thursday, I went to this crazy meditation, and they would like get their friends in. And then like the more you got trusted and the further you got pulled in, you started realizing, oh, everyone running these yoga studios is like the inner circle of this cult. I told you, I know way too much about cults. Do I know my best friend's birthday? Debatable.
I'm the same
and I've
way
known
about
him
things.
for 15 years. So, that's how my brain works.
The scary part is that it is still widely practiced.
Yeah.
Though critics do say that it lacks any kind of scientific backing. But, I mean, people that believe in all that are not going to listen to it doesn't have any scientific backing. They're,
Right.
They're into it for a whole other reason.
Because they get you with, again, it's this whole make you feel good day one thing. And then meditation is a good practice in general. However, what they do then is like, they're like, oh, you did our intro meditation program. What if you did our 5-hour one? Wherein you're like in a heated yoga room for 5 hours and we don't let you eat or drink water for like 5 hours. And then we're telling you our ideology and hitting gongs and like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing is that it always starts with something good. That's how they get you. If it just went straight to crazy, nobody would join. And that's with any cult. They have to bring you in with the stuff that seems believable. So, okay, number 3. A cult believed the world would end on October 22nd, 1844, and when it didn't, they called it the Great Disappointment. Now, is that A, the Millerites, B, Jehovah's Witnesses, or C, Children of God? So, Jan, what do you think?
What are my choices again?
The Millerites, the Jehovah Witness, or the Children of God?
I'm thinking Children of God.
Okay. And Carrie?
I've heard. I remember the term. I'm going with B. For some reason, B's Jehovah's Witness.
Okay. And Indigo?
Going with C. That was my first guess.
Okay, y'all. It is actually A.
Oh,
Oh,
So
Good job.
the
all right.
so the leader William Miller in the 1800s predicted that
oh,
Christ would
1800s.
return in 1844, and then when on the 22nd came and went, and the world did not end. They called it the Great Disappointment. The group kind of splintered, um, with one branch of that, and this is interesting.
Oh,
Where
nice.
with one
Vernon
branch
and
of that becoming the Seventh Day Adventist Church. So
Chat was on top
Really?
of it.
yeah, chat was
Chat was like Millerites.
yeah. They were
I'm sorry,
doing good.
Susie. I'm sorry, Susie. Did you say that turned into the 7-day
Yeah,
Advantage?
Adventist.
How do you say
Yeah,
Adventist? Sorry.
Adventist.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, they
Hmm.
splintered, and so part of it became that.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah. So okay, number 4. We are moving right along. So good, since there's so many of them, because how many rewrites. Okay, number 4 is a group believed aliens from the Pleiades were sending telepathic messages about cosmic fleets of light. Okay. And is it A, the universe people, B, realism, or C, a random Etsy shop? You never know.
Hmm.
So, a group believed aliens from the Pleiades were sending telepathic messages about cosmic fleets of life. Universe people, realism, or random Etsy shop.
I'm gonna go with A.
Who
Who's
was that with?
first? Who goes first?
So
Sorry.
Indigo's gonna go with who?
A.
Okay, and Jan?
I've not heard of the first two, so I'm going with C.
I love that. I love that. I haven't heard of the first two either, and I was gonna go see, and I'm like, nah, just go B. I love it. A, B, and C. I'll go B.
You're gonna go B? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go B.
So it is A, universe people. So
Wow.
founded in the 1990s in Czech Republic, they are a UFO religion claiming telepathic contact with extraterrestrials from Pleiades, and they teach that cosmic fleets are guiding humanity and that only the spiritually advanced individuals will be saved from the coming destruction.
I
So,
always
Wow.
love that aspect. It's
Wow.
like either you get the people who are like, nah, man, I'm God. Like, this is my group and I'm a God and like I will save you. Or you get the people who are like, only a select number of people will be saved when the world ends. And I'm like, listen, I don't need to be saved. I've lived a good life. Like, like,
Or they throw aliens in the mix.
yeah,
Like honestly, you're right. I mean,
There's
it's
so
either
many
I'm the new Jesus, only a select amount of people, and then there's
Or
aliens.
aliens.
Like
Mhm.
truly, that's wild. Wow,
It is
it's
wild.
frightening.
and I
There's
think
so
a lot
many
of it
groups.
too, like they take from, because like in the 60s through the 80s, a lot of people were drawn to Buddhism, which fine, that's great. But they take either symbols, base ideology, or base lore and then twist it into something else for their own
Sure.
gain. So it's like if you see familiar aspects, like meditation is not dangerous if done correctly and like you get something good out of it. It's dangerous, however, when you're like, again, like forced into like many hours or you're forced to take something like with Scientology, how they do the
Sure.
purification rundock. That is A, not a safe use of a sauna, and B, like also questionable.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, here's number 5. The leader taught that humans were originally 8-foot tall space aliens trapped in volcanoes. Is that A, Scientology, B, Heaven's Gate, or C, Mormonism? So, Jan, what do you think?
Let's go Heaven's Gate.
Okay, and Carrie?
Yeah, I'm going that one too. I've never heard of the 8 feet tall aliens. I mean, there's aliens
I
trapped.
want to say it's Scientology because there's volcanoes involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold
But-
on. I gotta find. So I've got 2 for B and 1 for A.
Yeah.
Right?
I've just never heard of how tall they were. With
I
Scientology.
hadn't either, but it said A, Scientology.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the volcano thing that
Yeah.
left it off for me.
I think they've just like
Wow.
not really covered much about how tall they were or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
'cause
You're
I've
just
never
like,
heard
you're
that.
just crazy. You're like kidnapped aliens from another planet
Yeah.
who got trapped in
Well-
volcanoes and exploded out into the world. Like,
You know
what?
the part that's really crazy that the part that I always find
And like, you
so
choose to be
fascinating-
born. Like,
Yeah. and who
no
by
way.
and as who? Yeah. The part of that whole thing that always gets me that I'm just like, really? I mean, you would think, the aliens, the whole thing is I'm always like, so this guy, Xenu flew around. This was like billions of years ago. We got to remember that part. But he
Mhm.
had World War II era bombers.
I know.
I mean, that's one
They
that
always mix in
my brain,
something
I'm
from
always
their
like-
time period to make it
Yeah.
a little bit more like palatable, right? So I feel like that's
Yeah.
why.
I think.
Oh, I
he
don't
was
want to
just-
ruin it in case this isn't one of your questions. I'll save that comment for later. Bookmark
But
that
it
thought.
is A. Scientology, founded in the 1950s by L. Ron Hubbard, teaches that humans are spiritual beings called Thetans. Advanced teachings describe an ancient galactic ruler named Xenu who trapped alien souls on Earth. The organization has faced extensive controversy and over alleged abuse, coercion, and financial practices.
I think faith is okay because I feel like faith gives you connection. I feel like the problem you have is if you take your young kids to church like my parents did with me, I'm technically confirmed twice. But if your kid pushes back and is like, I really would prefer not to go, then
Mhm.
don't force them. But I do think it can add structure and community to your life. I just think you have to let your kid decide. Like when they become the age where they can decide, you shouldn't force them. But I don't think faith is the problem. I think it's when people group together and kind of force one thought process on everybody.
Yeah, like organized religion. I
I
don't
mean,
have
it
a
is
problem.
religion. That's what religion is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
regardless, because parents
Yeah.
always think they're doing it for the better good, right?
Yeah.
It is one forced idea, and this is what we do. Sorry, Susie, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
no. I mean, I was just saying that is like organized religion. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I do think that can be harmful, but I do think that faith in general is not harmful as an ideal. It's how you use it that's harmful.
yeah,
I
I
yeah.
agree. I agree. Anna from Canada said, I personally find it abusive to force children in religion. That's an adult choice. I do too. I have said that before that now I was quote unquote saved at like 11, and I absolutely believe it to this day. I believe that I was, and all that. But then as a parent, I was very like distrusting of them trying to like I said one time that my daughter went to a lock-in and she came I mean, she was literally like 13, 14 years old. And she literally comes in and she goes, oh, yeah. I mean, like in passing, as we're talking about 100 other things. She's like, oh, yeah, I guess I got saved or whatever. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, 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 no. So, I think that if you truly believe that you are saved, that you will truly know that you were saved. It's not I got saved or something. But they push these kids so hard at these lock-ins and church camps and all of that. And I just think that's I think it's abuse. I believe
It
it's
is.
abuse. I believe that we can teach them what we believe our beliefs are, but we should not say, you have to do this,
Mhm.
or look how many people are, look how many of your friends have gotten saved. We've had 30 kids because, they would go to church camp, and of course it was thousands of kids there, but every night there would be hundreds, like even thousands of kids that would, come forward and say that they got saved. And I thought that is peer pressure at its
Yep.
greatest,
Yep.
because then it's like you're not one of the cool kids if you didn't get saved. So then everybody, before you leave, everybody, quote unquote, gets saved. So
Sure.
Anada. I'm gonna just call her Anada from Canada because I can never say her name. But Anna says I was pushed very hard as a child. I literally wasn't. My parents never pushed me, and it was weird. I was actually best friends with our preacher's daughter, and they didn't push it either.
Hmm.
They didn't push any of us. And like the night that I got up and walked to the front of the church, there wasn't all the, well, I'm not gonna lie, there was only two families that had kids, six kids in the whole church. The rest of them were little old ladies and little old men, and my mom and dad who were young. But literally six kids, seven with the preacher's daughter, seven kids in the whole church. And I was the one that got up and went down there. I never felt pressured, and I've always been grateful for that. And so I never wanted to pressure my kids. And I believe that for a while I kind of did, because I was suddenly, employed by the church and teaching Sunday school at the church and all of this stuff. And I kind of fell into that. And then I was just like, no, we're not doing that. And so I would want them to learn, but I want them to feel free to go and look at other denominations or
Yeah.
other religions in general, but stay away from cults.
Yeah, I should caveat that like my dad grew up like in the South. So
Mhm.
and my grandma, I guess, was Methodist. And then
Mhm.
like I had a Buddhist uncle, and my parents, by the time they adopted me, like were in the Lutheran church, and I decided to go to the Presbyterian church when I was a kid, and now I'm like a practicing witch. So by no means did like my parents always caveated everything with pay
Yeah.
attention to how you feel.
Yeah, you've had lots
Wow.
of
If you push against, like my dad was like, even if you don't trust something I say, look up information on it, because I think that helps you understand. Like for me, I say faith and religion are different. That's just how I grew up. Like I differentiate between the two because I feel like religion is where you get the single-mindedness, and sort of like Anna was saying, like forced to do so
yeah.
many things a
I think
specific way.
I think that if people are forced, that they often rebel. And so I just figure, don't force, just be open, be honest. And whenever my daughters would say, well, what about this? I'd say, hell, I don't know, let's try to figure it out,
Mhm.
and so I don't believe in forcing anybody. Yeah. Anna says, I am also an atheist now. So there's that. And then she also says, I read the whole Quran. And that, okay, when I met my husband, yeah, I've read it too. And I thought it was very interesting. I really should have taken some kind of like,
Theology
biblical
class.
sciences. Yeah, all that kind of thing, because yeah, I'm just very interested. And you'll see that by the people that I try to interview that come from all kinds of different backgrounds. And I don't care. I'm not like, if you're an atheist, great. I would love to have you on and talk to you about that, and not in a judgy way. I would like to know, what you believe, what you don't believe, what, your thought processes on it. Same with, I've had, well, Indigo's been here too, but I've had other practicing witches, and I have even said that I'm leaning a little on the witchy side lately. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm kind of learning tarot and a bunch of stuff. So I also do feel a very strong connection to God, but not to organized religion. So we are all a big old mess here. And that I think is why we get along great in this community is that we,
Mhm.
we have all lived lives and are twisting and turning and deciding what we find real, and that if it doesn't match somebody else's, that's okay. And it's because we're not in a cult, y'all.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was going to
Wait,
say that.
what? We're individuals with our own autonomous thoughts and
I
feelings. Who
know
would
it.
think
Crazy.
so? Oh my
Who'd have
god.
thunk it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to move to number 6. Okay, now this one I could not do. I just couldn't. We were talking about a bacon cult earlier, and I'm all for it. But this one, number 6, is this group banned all music except songs written by the leader. Is that A, the Family International, B, the Move, or C, the Manson family? So, Jan, what are you thinking?
Before you gave the list, I was thinking the Manson family.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jan is C. Carrie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going with Manson because he wanted to be a musician and crap like that. I'm going with Manson.
Okay. And Indigo?
I'm gonna go with Family International.
Okay. I will tell you that my guess because I had the questions presented to me and I was like trying to figure out if I thought that they were going to be interesting, and hard but not horribly hard. My first thought was the Manson family. But it is actually B, the Move.
Oh,
So the Move was founded by Sam Fife in the 1960s through the 1980s. It was a doomsday group predicting the apocalypse and requiring members to travel in caravans, and music and creative expression were tightly controlled. Members often lived communally, and outside contact was discouraged.
that makes sense now that you say what the answer was. But I was thinking
Yeah.
that's another thing cults do is they restrict something.
Yeah.
So like that
Yeah.
one was like you can only listen to music made and
I
produced
wrote.
by the cult. A lot of cults won't let you have contact with the internet or sources that say different things than they're putting forward. So that's another sign of a cult in case you meet anyone who's ever like, oh, I have no idea what this thing that everybody knows about is.
Yeah.
Maybe they were restricted in some way. Because I will say the churches I grew up in, like there was never like a feeling of isolation or anything if you thought differently. But I will say that like, oh, the Bee Gees and Carnival.
Carnival thinks it was the Bee Gees. Hey, it might have been.
I would love to see if there's any studies done on the evolution of cults in parallel with serial killers.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I
Because
am,
like if you
crazy.
think about it, like there's always this doomsday aspect
Mm-hmm.
or the save the planet aspect,
Mhm.
like you get with Scientology, where they're like, everything you do will save the planet.
But I
How
never can
though?
figure out anything that they're doing with Scientology.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I would wonder
but I
if
know. I know
this
what you mean.
feeling was also like pushed because like a lot of these came up after World War II, which could make sense of why people felt like the world was ending, just because
Yeah.
it was like another great war.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd love to see if there's any studies out there to that
That would be
effect.
interesting. That
Well,
would be interesting.
I have read about like Marilyn Manson when he was in jail, like Scientologists would come in there and talk to him.
Mhm.
And a lot of his ideas and beliefs were
Mhm.
a lot of Scientology thinking. That's what
Yeah.
I've heard. John A. Tag talks about it. But I
Yeah.
also read it somewhere else. I don't know the source anymore. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is. That'd be something to kind of look into.
Hmm.
Write it down, Susie. Okay, so number 7 says a conspiracy theory that claims the moon landing was filmed on a Hollywood set. Now, is that theory, was it started by A, the flat earth movement, B, a government black ops believers, or C, mainstream? I wrote this so sloppy I can't read it. Mainstream astrophysics. So, Jan, what do you think? Flat Earth movement, government black ops believers, or mainstream astrophysics?
I'm going with A.
Jan is A. This is such a better way than the last time when I was just like putting all kinds of crazy stuff. This will be much quicker too. So, okay, Carrie, what about you?
What's B again?
Government black ops believers.
I'll do that.
Carrie's B and Indigo.
I'm
What
gonna
about
go with
you?
JJ, you
too
crack me up.
because I feel like it's not okay. Tell us what it is, and then I'll tell you why I don't think it's A.
So you're going with B? Is that what you
Mhm.
said? Okay. Mark is saying C. You think it's astrophysics?
Brian, hi Brian.
So the answer is B. It's a persistent conspiracy theory claiming the 1969 moon landing was staged. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence and physical moon samples, the theory continues to circulate in some circles.
And I will tell you why. It's because when we were in the space race with Russia,
Yeah.
or the USSR, there was a lot of secretive places in like Utah and stuff that were coming up with all of the technology to make rockets. And so a lot of people are like, oh, what if they just came up with all this technology to create rockets and faked that one went to the moon? That's kind of where it started. I knew it wasn't A because that only started being redone like 4 or 5 years ago, but I feel like this theory of like the moon landing being fake is as like old as me, and I was born in the 90s, but I feel like it's been whispered around that it's fake at least since the 80s or the 70s. I'm very young compared.
I wanted to say thanks to Pup Groomer for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
If you get a membership from Pup, say thank you, Pup.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love Jen.
I think that's so sweet. It just, I don't know. I like the whole idea of, people will say, well, what's the difference in that and a super chat? And I'm like, well, I like it because
Oh, wow,
it
that's
benefits
cool,
other
Brian.
people, so I like it that way. So
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, number 8 is a cult that believed that interracial marriage would prevent the apocalypse. Is that A, the Branch Davidians, B, Susie's Dream, or C, I should not make myself laugh. C is Love Family.
I love that you
Mark's
make
over there
yourself
saying it's
laugh.
definitely
Someone said I
laughing.
should be in stand-up comedy because my delivery is good. And I'm like, that's because I talk to myself alone in my apartment. So I just imagine there's an audience.
So we've got the chat is weighing in with C. So Jan, what do you think? A, B, or C?
I'm thinking the Love Family.
Okay. And Carrie?
I don't know. This is the only one I've heard of. The Branch Davidian. That's the A, right?
Yeah.
I'll go with that one. That's the only one I've heard of.
Okay.
Other than you, Susie.
Other than me.
I think I'm going to go with C as well.
Okay.
Ugh.
And the answer is C. The leader is named Love Israel or Paul Erdman. Don't you love how they come up with these great names, but really
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's fun, but like a cult was busted in the neighboring town to where I grew up.
So this one
I'm
is
ready to go.
a 1960 Washington state commune promoting interracial marriage. Members took the surname Israel, and the group dissolved in the 1980s amid internal disputes. And merely, it was a cult that believed the interracial marriage would prevent the apocalypse.
Wow, that's
So,
wild. Like
You know
yeah,
what
it
is
really
very
interesting?
is
random.
such a different way of like
Yeah.
wow, that's
There was
wild.
a point in time where, because I noticed somebody saying Utah and stuff, the FLDS did try to come to Illinois
Mhm.
and be like, this is our promised land. And Illinois was like, no. And then they went to Utah.
And the rest is history, right?
And the rest
Yeah,
is
the rest is
history.
history. Ugh. Okay, number 9. This group stockpiled weapons in preparation for the end times. So, is it A, the Branch Davidians, B, fundamentalist LDS, or C, 12 tribes?
Oh, I know this one.
This should be easy, but it's not.
They stockpiled weapons in
A.
preparation for the end times. Mark.
That's my answer. I'm going with A.
So Indigo is A. Jan, what about you?
It's what are the choices? The Branch Davidians.
Fundamentalist LDS or 12 tribes?
Yeah, the Branch Davidians.
Okay. And Carrie?
That case makes me so mad.
Gosh, I don't know. I was gonna say B. I'll just stick with that.
Okay. And the answer is A, the Branch Davidians.
This
And it
case,
is leader David Koresh, an apocalyptic sect in Waco, Texas in 1993. A federal raid led to a 51-day standoff ending in a fire that killed 76 people. The group believed that Koresh was a messianic
Messiah.
Yeah.
Misogynist?
figure.
He was
No,
a messiah.
messianic
Uh.
figure who would unlock biblical prophecies.
I really think the FBI should be accounted for murder in that case because they consulted with multiple professionals who told them not to raid the compound. And it makes me so incredibly angry that some of those 76 people were children.
Yeah, a lot of them were. So it's
Like
just
it
horrible.
oh, it makes me so
one of
mad.
one of my best friends from high school was in that cult, but he got out. Thankfully, his parents kidnapped him out before
Nice.
that. But yeah, I will always be. That's what got me interested in cults. Is that his case? Because I mean, it hit close to home.
Sure.
And he is now living a great life. He is in Washington State. He's married. He has, grown kids. I think he has grandchildren now. I don't know, but he just he was always like the perfect guy, if that makes any sense. Like he was a jock and he was smart and he was gorgeous and he was all these things. And I always just thought the world of him, but never was interested in him as a boyfriend, and he, I mean, we were very close, but neither one of us thought of each other that way. And my mom was like, yeah, but what about David? He is awful cute, and I'm like, yeah, but he's just like, he's like a good friend.
That case and forgetting the name of the cult, but the one cult where they like left the US for like a foreign country.
Yeah.
Those cases enraged me because they were so close to saving
Jonestown
more people. Yeah, Jamestown. Like Waco just makes me so upset on so many levels. I wasn't even born, but like it makes me so mad.
Okay, so number 10, a belief that reptilian shapeshifters secretly run the world. And it is letter A is David Leakey conspiracy. B is day drinking Susie, or C, Heaven's Gate.
It's funny.
Day drinking.
Specifically day drinking.
Yeah, day drinking, specifically day drinking.
It's funny.
Not the night drinking one.
Not
That's
the night
A.
drinking one, the day drinking one. So the chat is saying A.
That's where I was leaning.
Except for Anna, who is saying Scientology, which is not even on the list. I like her.
That's great. That's
We'll just
funny.
say Scientology to everything because,
That's
who
good.
knows, right? Okay, so Jan, what do you think?
A.
Jan says, hey, I was going to say A, B, or C. Jan says A. Carrie, what about you?
Yeah, I'll do A, but I would really love to hang out with Susie day drinking. I would love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm also going with A.
yeah,
Indigo
drink,
says A.
day drinking. Mm-hmm.
So the answer is A. And this belief they promote the belief that it is hard to say,
Shapeshifters.
Yeah.
control global. I had a list when I was a kid and couldn't say S's. So it's always hard when they're back to back for me, even still. So shapeshifters control
Nice.
global governments and elite institutions. It's a new age / political conspiracy theory. So crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes
That
though,
and
when
flat
I get a
earthers.
little paranoid sometimes, and I tell Jason, I'm like, I don't know if they're actually human. I think that might be an alien. I get a little paranoid sometimes, and he's like,
No.
no, you're
I
crazy.
think if we actually captured an alien, and by we I mean the secret government, Area
Not
52
the
people,
four of us.
not like the four of us. Yeah, the government.
Susie has it in his closet.
I feel like they've already integrated that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they would have already captured that in like the 60s or 70s, and it's already integrated. That or
Yeah.
aliens are looking at us now and they're like, no, I'm not touching that. That is some crazy stuff over there. We'll bypass it. No, thank you.
So Poet says, the only cult I belong to is the Holy Order of the Most Bountiful Air Fryer. We have our meetings on my channel most mornings.
I do like air fryers, not gonna lie.
He would probably get along. That cult would get along with
My
David
friend
and
made
Susie.
bacon wrapped water chestnuts in his air fryer, and it was so
Ooh.
good. Anyway,
I like water chestnuts.
Well, I guess I'm anti. I've never tried an air fryer before, so
Yeah, same
I
here.
figure-
they're really great. It's great for rewarming like fries as well,
oh yeah,
or like
just as good.
or like burgers because it doesn't get all like gross like in the microwave.
I guess
it's like
And
a
fried chicken,
yeah,
air fried chicken,
all that kind
so
of stuff is good. And I like to fry chicken in my air fryer. Like I will actually, in fact, I've got chicken I want to do that way. I actually
interesting.
like put the flour and because I just flour mine with just flour and salt and pepper is all I do. And then I can put that in the air fryer and cook it, and it will get crispy on the outside and just so moist on the inside. So yeah.
I guess JJ and I are the anti air fryer cult, I guess.
Okay, here we go. Number 11. So a group believed that self-unaliving would transport them to a spaceship following a comet. Is that A, Heaven's Gate, B, Solar Temple, or C, both?
This one's tricky.
Heaven's Gate, Solar Temple, or both? So Jan, what do you think?
I was gonna go with A, but then the word solar catches me, so I'm gonna go with both.
Okay. So Jan, now Carrie, what about you?
I was going to go with A, but the word both caught me. So I'm going to go with both.
And Indigo?
Yeah, I'll go with both.
Okay.
Ow.
says it is C. Two different groups thought that comets
Mm.
were Uber or Lyft kind of situation.
Those are the original.
Oh my God, that's the way I'm going to describe it from now
That's
on.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, did you know your cult thought comets were Uber?
Yeah. Or Lyft. I mean, you know. It says we already talked about the Nike wearing Heaven's Gate, but the Order of the Solar Temple says they were a secretive, esoteric group active in the 80s and 90s. Members believed death would transport them to a higher spiritual realm associated with Sirius, like Sirius music. But between 1994 and
sounds delicious.
1997, over 70 members died in ritual murder suicides in Europe and Canada.
Yeah, it's so sad. And like the thing is, like,
Gosh.
this is fascinating. So there's a little detour about the FLDS really quick. There are people who have left, and since one of the Jeffs got arrested, I forget which one, Warren.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got arrested and his house got taken over by people who had left, and now they use it as like a business to help people who escape like reintegrate into society. But what I find interesting is a lot of these cults will be like, the world is going to end. And then the date comes and they're like, shoot, what is our like super convincing argument for why we're not dead yet?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see in the call, it'll be like, oh, they said it was going to be in the 1800s. They said it was going to be 1950. We're still here. In 1950, they said it was going to be 1981. Oh no, we're still here. Like they keep just moving it further and further forward.
There's a question about that coming up. And there's some of these that I had to laugh about, and they made me, whenever I was like digging up some of the questions, it made it like I would dig more into it. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be
so they said the most effective way to help people sort of like ask questions or feel safe kind of doubting what they've been told is just to take them where they're at. Like be a soft place to land because they're told you're not going to be. They're like told you're going to be judgmental, that you're going to deride them, that you're dangerous. So be the opposite. And even if you hear what they say and you're like, that is a crock of doo-doo.
You know, that's why I say,
just take them where they're at, because when you show them kindness, like my mom would do this when who used to go door to door with their like Jehovah's Witness. My mom would do that. She would like invite them in and she would straight up be like, you're not going to convert me, but let's talk. Here's some water or here's some food. Because, you know, it's like 80 degrees out in the summer and they're out here. And like seeing that, I kind of realized like, oh, if you take them where they're at, the more interactions they have that aren't mean and scary, that could be the seed that gets them to realize there's another world out there. Yeah, but if you're mean and scary and you like deride them and you scream at them and you protest and you call them stupid, that's just going to reinforce that they should stay in because you're going to look scary.
Yeah. That's why I say I wouldn't scream at the Scientologists, because if we scream and holler and call them names, then we look exactly like what they're told we are.
Yes.
So I like the protesters that go at a more even keel, just be there, you know, talk to them. And I understand that when they're protesting, that a lot of times you are going to have to raise your voice, because a lot of times this isn't people that are standing right next to you, you know. So I understand like raising, but there's a difference in like projecting your voice and screaming at somebody.
Yes.
So I get that.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I went in and talked to them, I talked to the receptionist and I was like, oh, how did you get into this? He was like, I was born in. So not everybody is there by choice.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to number 12. So number 12 is a cult leader who claimed he was the reincarnation of Jesus and Buddha. Is it A, Jim Jones, B, Sun Moon, or C, David Koresh?
Oh.
And I want y'all to know, just so that Ben...
Wait, he was both? Wait, he was both Jesus and Buddha? That's a little much.
I intentionally made these.
Yeah.
I read them off, and I don't know the answer.
Whoever said, "Are they all?" That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim Jones, Sun
Hmm.
Myung Moon, or David Koresh.
I'm surprised L. Ron Hubbard isn't in there because
I
didn't he
was
say he
too.
was
He
That's
said
he
what I
was
was
that.
Jesus, he
thinking.
was Satan, he was didn't he say
He
he
said
was
he was Buddha.
He's
the Buddha?
Antichrist.
Right. I'm
That's
happy for that.
confusing because okay, but like you're Jesus and Satan.
Yeah.
What?
I
Yeah,
didn't
he
say
was crazy.
Well, what
right.
got me was that
That's
L.
what
Ron
he said,
Hubbard.
not me.
No, I
L.
know, I
Ron
know. I'm
Hubbard.
just like
I
guys
know.
confused.
I know,
Here,
I'm messing.
L. Ron Hubbard also said that Jesus was a pedophile who touched little
Mm.
boys, and then he said he was Jesus. So I'm like, was he a
Right?
pedophile that touched
I
little
know.
boys?
Gosh.
You
I
know.
know.
But anyway, the
Huh.
answer is David Koresh.
Really?
C. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not where I
Huh.
was going to go. Huh.
Yeah. I forgot to ask you guys. I'll
No,
give you
that's all
all a
right.
point on that one.
I was thinking the B, but wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
Well, I
claimed to
guess
be
it gets every angle, right?
he
Right?
claimed to
Like,
be the
Well,
final
okay, but if
prophet.
he was Buddha, maybe he died and reincarnated into Jesus. But that's also confusing timeline wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, you know it's not true, right?
Jesus.
No, I do, but that's what I'm saying is like if you do any like when I went to college, we were required to take certain amount of credits in
Yeah.
theology classes because it was a Lutheran college. And I took one called River of God where they took different texts and they kind of like compared them. Like so there was like the Bible, the
Well, that's
Quran, or whatever.
logical. Yeah.
And yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So if you look at it and you're
They're
like,
not
okay,
thinking
well, Jesus was
logically.
supposed to be alive at this time and Buddha was supposed to be alive at this time, then you would
Mhm.
just be like, Koresh, what are you talking about? Like that's timeline wise not even possible.
Well, correct, but they're
Mm.
not thinking logically.
No, of course.
You know, and that's the sad part about it. They're not thinking logically.
Good one, Ben.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
sad.
true,
Because
Ben. Well,
Moon
no,
claimed,
the thing is,
Moon claimed he was God
he
and
didn't
proved he
come
wasn't
back.
by dying.
He didn't come back. Because like Jesus died and came back, right? So when people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm Jesus," I just keep expecting them to come back. Isn't that what Hubbard said too?
Yes, he's
Yeah.
already past his time of coming back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah. He was supposed to be back in like 20 years. And
Yeah, 20, 30 years ago.
yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
been a while. He's wrong. I think that was the only thing that made him wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Number 13. A group of people believed wearing purple would prevent the apocalypse. A. The purple people. B. The house of Yahweh. Or C. It's just made up.
When you give us these answers, like this is just made up, I'm like, it's all made up, and then it messes with my head.
Well, she's got a point.
B. I'm gonna go with B.
And I'm trying to find the answer. That's how good I am at this, right?
My trick for multiple choice games is to highlight the correct answer. So I write down what people say, but I have the right one highlighted.
I
so I
wanted
don't
to
forget.
do that, but I didn't want to. Oh, I did find the answer, but anyway, I didn't want to do that because I want to read them off without knowing. You know what I mean? Because I wrote this a few days ago, and my memory will just, for the most part, if I didn't already know, I've already forgot. So, anyway.
Ben says, what were the groups again?
Okay. A is the purple people. B is the house of Yahweh. Or C, it's just made up. So, Jan, what do you think?
I think that's just made up.
Okay. And Carrie?
Ooh, I'm going to be a little rebellious. I'm going to go with B. Only because the Yahweh thing reminds me of Catholicism. And there was there had to be a lot of purple. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with B.
And Indigo?
I'm also on the B train. Also, purple is my favorite color.
Y'all, I wore purple today because I totally made it up. I was just kind of vibing with that one.
You're the best cult leader, Susie.
I know.
You tricked us all. People people are gonna love to run with that one.
I love like when you okay, I know the whole thing with trolls is that they don't look at logic, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is when they're like a logical comment and you're like logical answer with sources they could go look at. And then they just like get huffy and leave. And I'm like, listen, you challenged me.
Yeah.
I always say if I have an opinion, it's because of how I grew up or my circumstance. So if you think I'm wrong, give me sources to look at to like change my mind. Like I've changed my mind over time. Like I've grown as a person. But don't just be like, you're wrong because you're wrong. I'm like, but like, give me the sources. I'll go look. I'll do my own research.
Mm-hmm. People
Yeah,
don't
but a
wanna do
troll
that.
wouldn't do that.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
The thing is that they're not invested. You
They
could
just want to piss
say,
you off.
you know, you could say today is Tuesday and they would argue with you because that's just what they're there for. It's just to argue and
It's
cause,
true.
you know.
I had a guy get mad because I was on my friend's stream and he hit on me and I'm dense and didn't realize. And then I wasn't like reciprocating. And so he's like, you know, all that magic stuff isn't real, right? And I was like, dude, I don't care that like I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, I believe it because I've
Yeah.
experienced it.
So number 14 is a movement that believed drinking industrial bleach could cure illness.
I remember this.
So
Oh.
is it A, love has won, B, Genesis 2, Church of Health and Healing, or C, the Amish?
God. I was hoping one of those answers would be, I just made it up. That's horrible.
No,
I know, right?
I
I'm like, they are
remember
gonna
this and I remember this in the
Gosh.
news at some
Mhm.
point.
That's horrible.
So
Yeah.
love has won, Genesis 2, Church of Healing, or sorry, Church of Health and Healing, or C, the Amish.
I'm gonna go with B.
Ben's over here. Oh, blink rate. He's like measuring my.
What is Ben doing?
He's trying to figure out my body language. I swear I'm gonna start coming on.
It's
just
ridiculous.
Do blink strange?
Yeah, like if I blink a certain, he's like in all this body
It's
language thing.
ridiculous. It
But
cracks
whenever I
me
try,
up.
I like do this and don't do anything that would tell him what my body language is. Then he tries to do like voice analysis. Okay, so Jan, what is your guess?
I'm going with B.
Okay, and Carrie,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with B.
Indigo.
3 Bs.
All right, it is B. Yep, the Genesis 2 Church of Health and Healing promoted
Sad.
Miracle Mineral Solution, which was an industrial bleach solution.
Oh,
Authorities in the U.S. and other countries have prosecuted leaders for fraud and endangerment.
Those poor people. It's just
Oh, I
so
know.
sad.
If you think that's crazy, which I mean it is, don't drink bleach.
Yeah.
PSA, don't eat things that are cleaning products in any way, shape, or form. They're not
Mhm.
edible. But if you dig into the radium craze of the 20s and 30s, and you realize that like all the women who painted those like glow in the dark clocks and
Yeah.
glow in the dark watches, glow in the dark stuff was made with radium. And these women, no one would listen to them. And the only reason it got blown into the mainstream media is because a man did a radium treatment and his jaw fell off.
Oh God.
And then he and his family went to like sue somebody, but they wouldn't believe the women who were
That
like
took a man.
And then the crazy thing is like these people would pass away and their bodies would be perfectly preserved because radium doesn't break down. Its half-life is like really long.
I think
Anyway, so I was just saying,
it's
if you
so
think
pretty.
drinking bleach is crazy, people actually ate radium.
Yeah.
On accident, though, wasn't the paint? They would put the paintbrush in
The
their mouth.
paint was on accident, but
Right, exactly. I know what
But
you're talking
that was
about.
an
It was on
accident.
accident, though. These people are
for
actually
them,
doing it for real.
no, but people would drink radium tonic. You could
Yeah.
get it at the store, and it was like this miracle cure.
Well, yeah,
thought
they
it-
didn't,
yeah.
they didn't realize. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't, yeah,
Snake oil
yeah.
salesmen were saying this is a cure for everything.
Right.
And
Right.
I think a lot of that glass is so pretty, but I don't want it in my house because I'm scared of it.
The
But,
one that's the ones that glow.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
radium glasses and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't use them, of course, but
Well, they don't
Right.
use
But I've
radium for glow in the dark stuff anymore. They
yeah,
came up
I'm
with
talking
like a
about,
new
like, the
family.
old antique
Vintage.
ones, though,
Yeah,
that
the
you can
vintage stuff. Yeah.
Right, the
vintage
vintage.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think it's
very awesome.
absolutely beautiful, and I see
It
it
is.
out there for sale,
So
and I'm
you
like,
should
"Oh, that
read
looks
Radium
so."
Girls if you're
Yeah,
interested
I
in
have.
that.
I watched
Indigo, have you read that?
show about it. I haven't read
Mhm.
it.
Oh, that is an amazing book. I met the
It's
author too
heartbreaking.
at a book
Oh.
fair.
My dad actually worked
Oh,
for
wow.
Argonne National Labs, who was like one of the last laboratories in the states that would test them. Like they would have to go get tested every X
Mhm.
amount of years.
Wow.
One of the lawsuits that resulted from the deformities from the radium happened here in New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, it was New Jersey and like a town in
Ohio?
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Mm.
Amazing book. Amazing.
it is.
I watched a show about it, but I'll have to read the book.
Me too. I watched a show
Because
about it, but I didn't
because
read
like
the
the
book.
person who
Yeah.
wrote the book tracked down family members
Yeah.
and all this stuff. So there's like interviews, there's diary entries from like the actual ladies when they were alive, and
Photographs, family photographs that she was given
oh yeah.
that are
Anyway,
very
though.
disturbing.
Wow. Okay, number 15. A group
Good.
believing a UFO would land in 1954 to rescue believers from disaster. Is it A, the Seekers? It says Dorothy Martin, or B, Raelism, or C, Scientology. So, Jan, what do you think?
I'll go with the Seekers.
And Carrie?
I was gonna go with A.
Okay, and Indigo?
Is A the Seekers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my inclination.
It is a 1950s doomsday cult studied by psychologist Leon Festinger. They predicted a catastrophic flood, and believed aliens would rescue them.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's always the aliens.
And it says that when it failed, the members doubled down, helping to form the modern cognitive dissonance theory research.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
That is
Because like if you think about it,
That's
this
a
is like
positive now. Like,
yeah.
wow, that's wild. Like people are, yeah, that's really, I think it's kind of positive.
it's kind of similar to like the foil à deux, like the French. Well, that is French, but like the theory that if one person in a group of two people believes something strong enough that the second person will like buy into the delusion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been at the center of like several like families just going missing cases where it's like the whole family just picked up and disappeared.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
cognitive
I've heard about
dissonance is
that.
really, it's that I think people in certain groups currently have that, but it's like giving people a soft place to land to like unbelieve stuff is
Yeah.
really important, I feel like.
Okay, number 16. A cult that believed the leader's sweat had healing properties. Is it A, Shinrikyo, sorry, I'll get it right eventually. B, Love Has Won, or C, The Finders? Shinrikyo, Love Has Won, or The Finders? What do you think, Jan?
I think it's the one I can't pronounce. A.
And Carrie?
Their sweat did what?
Had healing properties.
I'll do B. I haven't heard of any of them. That's wild.
And
A. I'm
Indigo?
gonna go with A. Also, I'm out if I have to consume body fluids from anyone. No, thank you.
Yeah. I didn't see how they were supposed to, how this was supposed to work, but it is actually because I put no.
Yeah. I'm out.
Wow.
No, thanks.
It is B. Love
Oh,
has won, and it's Amy
Really?
Carlson, who was called Mother God, and it's a small new age group claiming that Carlson was a divine being, and followers believe that her
oh.
body fluids had healing
Is
powers.
this the one where she like ended up passing away and the daughter is still like, no, it like now the daughter was like, wait, it's me now or something?
Yeah,
Like,
and they kept her body, and she actually, like, somehow or another, like, she, like, kind of was a mummy. Like, they didn't wrap her up, but she mummified somehow, and they just, like,
Wow.
kept her body. But anyway, it says the
yeah,
group
it's really
faced
weird.
abuse allegations and legal issues before collapsing after Carlson's death in 2021. This was
What?
just a
I
little bit
remember,
ago.
yeah, I remember hearing about this cult. I just
That's
didn't know remember
insane.
what it was called, but I remember like her being talked about and then
Yeah.
when they tried to get answers from her, I think she
Mhm.
has a daughter. Well, that's what my brain is saying. And it was really, really sad, like watching her
Wow.
daughter get interviewed because it's like
Mhm.
she's brainwashed because it was her
Yeah,
mother.
and
Like,
and
Your mother, right?
Ben says, "Oh, like beef jerky," but honestly, he's kind of right. I mean, that's kind of how she looked, was, like leathery, jerky looking, her body. I don't even know what
yeah.
they did, but and I remember reading what they did, but I
It's
can't remember now
ridiculous.
what they did.
But it's
Oh,
crazy when you think it's like 2026. That was like 5
yeah,
years ago that she
yeah,
passed away. So like cults will pop up in times of stress, and we're definitely in times of stress right now.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Like beef jerky. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. That's so
He brings
funny.
the levity, I feel like, because if you actually get into the psychology and how
It
cults work,
cracks
it's
me
kind
up.
of depressing.
it
I love
is.
having Ben around. He
Beef,
always makes me
like
laugh.
beef
Yeah, he
jerky.
does. He
He's
he brings a
ridiculous.
little bit of humor to the situation because this is actually very, like,
He goes stinky
ugh,
little group, I bet.
you know?
Oh God.
Okay, let's see here. 17. We are getting close to the end, y'all. A
This is fun.
conspiracy claims that birds are government surveillance drones. Is that A, QAnon, B, birds aren't real, or C, the Illuminati?
I'm sorry. Can you say the question again? I was
Yeah,
laughing. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
A conspiracy claims that birds are government surveillance drones, and it is either A, QAnon, B, birds aren't real, or C, the Illuminati. So, Jan, what do you think?
I'm going with B.
You're going with B? Jan's
I,
going with B. Carrie?
yeah. I've heard some. I don't know exactly. I've heard some weird thing. People going like birds aren't real. I'm going with B.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
And
B.
You know
Indigo?
what's eerie? Okay. I made a joke post on Facebook a while ago where I'm like, if so and so is President Snow, who's President Coin? Like from the Hunger Games.
Hmm.
This conspiracy theory reminds me of the whole like Mockingjay
Yeah.
thing in the book because like they did create a bird that could record what people said and then be sent back. Anyway, it's a B. Birds aren't real. I also
Okay.
remember
The
hearing about
answer
that.
is B, a satirical group, but it is actually wildly believed. It was started in 2017 and created as a parody.
Ooh, Ben thinks he's got you dialed in.
Yeah.
He's cracked you, Susie.
But he's wrong.
Like the thing is though, like they have drones.
Yeah.
So
So
like
why
if
would they need
drone
birds?
drones didn't exist, I would be like, okay, maybe birds aren't real. Could have like a little bit of possibility.
Yeah. I
I
know.
think
It's
it's
kind of
weird.
like the whole thing about like that we used to be apes. I'm like, then why do we still have apes? I'm like, I believe that there is a certain degree of evolution.
Well, I
I
think we
do,
actually did
but
evolve from walking on four
well,
limbs
yeah,
to
yeah.
walking on two because we have a tailbone.
That's evolution though. We can evolve and have
Exactly.
always been, human, but evolved. So yeah.
Agree. I agree with you. It's so weird. Like here's what I find so strange is that, like you said, it was a satire like group.
Mhm.
They just did this, but people actually believe it.
Yeah.
Like
And it was
that's
totally
dangerous. That's
it was
dangerous.
it was
You know,
called satire from the beginning. I mean, it was,
right?
it was never
I
it
mean, but
was
isn't that how
always just a
propaganda
joke.
works? It
Yeah.
kind of like makes you suspend your disbelief and gives you a
Sure.
plausible enough explanation of how it could be real.
I don't know if it was plausible enough, but I think there's enough people out there that go, you know what? I
It
thought
could
that
be real.
Right.
They're like, oh
That's
man,
that's
they're
frightening.
birds who can learn how to mimic me. Holy
Yeah.
crap, maybe they're drones.
Yeah. Maybe they're drones.
Right. It's frightening.
I know. Number 18 is a cult leader predicted the end of the world many times, and each time it didn't happen.
Oh,
He
God.
just recalculated.
Oh, this will be hard. Go ahead.
So is that
A
A,
lot of them.
Harold Camping, B, the Amish, or C, Opus Dry? Actually, it's Opus Day, not
Day.
Dry.
I was gonna say
I was
day
gonna
DEI.
You know, I can't read my own writing half the time.
It's okay. I relate.
So, yeah, Opus Day. I was like, it's not dry. What does that say? Because I was like, I know that that's not it. What is it? I mean, the name. So, anyway, is it A, Harold Camping, B, the Amish, or C, Opus Day?
Day.
So, Indigo, are you saying Day?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
with C.
Jan
Opus Day.
and Carrie?
I've never. I think it's weird that the Amish that they don't have a name. It's just the Amish. They're probably right, but I'm gonna go with Amish. Like that's kind of wild. Like, why isn't there a name to like?
Yeah.
You know,
But it's like
I
the
think that's-
Baptist.
Their
think it's
their
wild.
existence
Catholic.
comes from like immigration migration patterns and like where they settled and
Yeah. Because they have
everything.
like
They have their own
They
language and
speak-
stuff. That makes
they
that makes
speak like
sense.
a derivative of Old
Yeah.
German,
yeah.
That makes
which
sense.
is
Yeah.
pre Berlin Wall going down.
So
Yeah, that makes
the
sense. I know they have their own
answer
language.
is A, Harold Camping.
Oh,
Yep.
see, I didn't know that one.
Who's
Y'all,
that?
he had a spreadsheet and then another and then another. He had all these spreadsheets, y'all.
I wonder what he looked like.
I don't know. But
That's
it he
wild.
says
Never heard of them.
a Christian radio broadcaster who predicted the rapture multiple times.
Oh my god,
Notably,
had mutton chops.
notably in 1994 and 2011. When
That-
predictions failed, he recalculated dates before eventually acknowledging there was an error.
He's got like the short
Whoa.
hair with like giant mutton chops
Yeah.
and big ears.
Wow. 1994, you said?
Yeah, 94
I was
and 2011.
Are you kidding? That's insane.
Oh my
I
god.
know.
That's
And
most
he
of
was
my
a
life.
broadcaster?
Yeah, a Christian broadcaster.
I mean,
That's
That's
even
how-
more dangerous. I think,
that's
than
how a lot of
anything.
these, like,
Wow.
that's how a
And
lot of these cults, like, they start as like in-home
this
worship,
is all I
groups,
got to see.
and then they turn into like mega churches, and then they
Yeah.
turn into like cults.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Years.
That-
I was like
Oh,
four. I
no.
was like 4 through 11 in that time period.
So number
in the
19.
90s and 94?
Yeah, 94. I was 4 years old.
Good for you. I was 17. I had the time of my life, man.
I
I
had
had
a
the
great
most
time
trouble
with
I
the
ever
kids.
had in 17 years old.
My
Go ahead,
sister was
Susie.
my sister was 8 years older than me, so she did all the troublemaking.
Nice.
Okay, number 19. A group that believed masturbation could summon demons. Is that A, the Children of God, B, the Shakers, which I think is kind of funny, or C, the Oneida community? I'm not saying what the answer is, but that one cracked me up.
I mean, isn't there a similar like belief in
right,
Mormonism?
Ben, don't
And that's
start.
where soaking comes from.
Yeah, I think actually.
Ben, don't even put anything in the comments.
I
Don't even
know,
start.
Ben. Okay, so do you think it's the Children of God, the Shakers, or the Oneida community? Jan, what do you think?
I'm going with Children of God.
Okay, Carrie
Yeah, I'm going to go with Children of God.
and Indigo.
I was going with C.
Okay,
God.
let me find the answer. Y'all, it's B, the Shakers. Which
Oh my
Stop
gosh,
it.
really? Oh my
Honey.
god, that's hilarious.
I mean, like,
Stop.
yeah, yeah. I was like, are you really? Yeah,
I'll never forget this. Oh my God. That's, wow.
you'll
It
be
was
like,
so
did you know that
obvious.
there's a cult called the Shakers that believes that? And there's all what cracks me up. Okay,
Oh.
is there's all this stuff that says, please do not summon the demons in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, boys, like right here in Carnosol, boys equals demon summoners and demons in the bathroom. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, oh
because
my
ladies don't do
So
that.
right, but I
Nothing.
wonder, right? Was it, would the girls group be called the Swipers?
You are officially my new favorite person.
or the Circulars? Right? However you need it, okay?
Maybe flickers. I don't know.
The Flickers? Who said that?
We might be telling
Susie.
too much.
Oh my God. Why don't we get those two cults together?
Yeah.
That'd be a party, man, right?
Oh boy.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
I told Ben not to start.
Make it up. The reason they were called the Shakers was because when they'd get in religious trances, they would start shaking. I mean,
Yeah, I bet.
what was what
Where were their hands?
where I yeah.
Oh my God. That's
I lifted up my
amazing.
hands. You can't see me, but I also was like,
Yeah,
I keep forgetting my camera's broken.
right.
Mark and I went one time. We went one time to this like
Oh,
in a cave, and you're going through there in a Jeep, and there's a bunch of people in the back of the Jeep. And it was so funny because when we went through this really dark part of the cave, I mean, it was like pitch dark. And the guide, the person driving the Jeep was like, okay, hand check. So everybody was like raising their hand. Fantastic
That's
cavern.
hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I mean, that's why I believe it's the Mormons that have soaking because they're
Mhm.
not supposed to have like premarital anything. But
Mhm.
let's be honest, kids are kids. They
Mhm.
got those hormones.
you better believe it.
Yeah, but even the Amish have a deal that
Wow.
they can sleep
Yeah.
on the same bed. They're just not. Is that somebody
I
watching them?
know.
Because I'm telling you, I was sneaky as hell. as a
Because that
kid.
would be creepy. Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest. You're not like in your kids are making sure they're not doing things because that's creepy. Okay, like there's boundaries there.
But
Or maybe
maybe
they're
not.
just like those crazy parents who remove their kids' bedroom doors and then wonder why they're stressed out all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
Ooh.
But this
Crazy.
says the Shakers, a Christian sect founded
course.
in the 1700s,
The
emphasized
1700s.
yes,
Jeez.
emphasized celibacy and communal living. They believed sexual activity was sinful and practiced strict separation of men and women. The group pretty much died out due to its
Yeah.
celibacy requirement.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. They're living communally? That's like the perk of like being communal.
I mean, what's
living,
worse?
right?
What's worse, being in like gender segregated communities where you can't have sex, or being told who you have to marry?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the
Ugh.
two sides of that coin are equally bad.
Mm.
They would be. I'm seriously trying to think if I would want
It's
to,
like, how do you even monitor that? People
where I
can be really
Oh.
sneaky, especially if they know
Yeah.
you're watching. They'll figure out ways.
I think I would rather be told that I like couldn't have sex, and because I'm telling you, I was sneaky, and then being forced to marry somebody. Because I mean, when you're forced to marry that person,
Yeah.
That's
Right.
true.
but if
I
you're just
agree.
told don't, then of course they're gonna be like, "How did you come pregnant, Susie?" I'll be like, "I fell on some corn."
You'll be like,
remember
oh
that
my gosh,
story that
don't
they
you
were talking
know
about
I'm having
Marilyn
Jesus?
story?
That would be my sarcastic response if I was in that group and got pregnant. I'd be like, well, looks like my baby's Jesus. Like,
That's funny.
I've been celibate this whole time.
Hey, I'm not kidding.
Whole
Y'all can think
time.
this is a joke, but my ex-husband, okay?
Oh God, what?
My ex-husband, he had dated this girl. And then literally like 6 or 7 months after they quit dating, her mom and her come over to his house and they announce that she's pregnant and that he's the dad. And he's like, well, first of all, no, that is not possible.
Oh.
And, she's how pregnant, kind of deal.
Right.
So, because I mean, you couldn't tell,
How
this is
many?
Their
months?
math is not mathing.
Yeah. So to fix that, she said, oh, no, 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 no. You all never had sex. This is an immaculate conception. But God told us that you
No.
are,
You're Joseph.
You're Joseph.
He's exaggerating, right?
No, it was true.
Oh my God.
Wow,
We
that's
were actually
crazy.
engaged at the time. And I went and had a visit with the girl.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And no, she swore by it.
She believed it?
She believed it, and so did the mama.
Stop.
And I'm like, well, you're not a virgin, so you're not Mary. So there's that. But, but yeah, I mean, and then years later, there was like, she just kept on, like she, kept on and was going to try to get him for, child support and all this. And we had a DNA test and it was not, which we knew.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
Well, she knew. She didn't believe it. She knew. Oh my God, that's wild.
That's crazy.
What did she say
crazy.
after the DNA test?
She just
it was immaculate conception.
Like she just didn't say.
Wow.
We don't really know who the dad was. Well, first of all, he's
That poor kid.
light complected and medium brown hair. She was very fair complected and everything. And this child came out looking like a Mexican. And so, I know that things, honestly, things can kind of skip, if there's like, if you have somebody that's of African American descent back, it can show up generations later, which I was always hoping that I had some of that in my DNA and that it would show up. Cause I'm just like, come on, just give me a little culture here, and they're so
probably all do.
I hate to be like that, but but they are beautiful. But it didn't happen. But anyway, this was like, she just, I don't know what she thought, which at least I guess she was saying that Jesus was brown, which, beat the blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus. But I don't know.
Right.
It was just weird.
Right.
It was just all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
wild. All right. So this cult was like, no sex, no nothing.
1700s. Yeah.
And I bet you the reason they fell apart is because all of them were having sex secretly. Like, let's be honest.
They pretty much died out.
And they were forced to marry people?
No, they didn't marry anybody. They didn't have sex at all. Like, I guess they could get married, but they couldn't have sex. But it said that the group pretty much died out because of the celibacy requirement.
Sure.
So
it kind of be like marrying someone who's like, I don't know, 60 years plus your age.
Yeah.
And you don't have sex with them.
Back in the 1700s, I'm like, I don't know.
Why wouldn't I have sex with them?
Yeah. But anyway, I want to look into
wild.
It. Wow. Really interesting. I do want to do some,
Yes, that's really.
We'll have to have a live someday with them.
We need to look into history. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Deep dive.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
12-part series.
Yeah. 12-part series. I don't know. Might not last that long since they kind of died out. So, yeah, no. Anyway, number 20. So, make sure I got that right. Yeah. Okay. Number 20, a cult who believes members are sovereign citizens not subject to U.S. law. Is it A, sovereign citizen movement, B, the Amish, or C, 12 tribes?
Oh.
So, Jan, what do you think? Sovereign citizens movement, Amish, or 12 tribes?
I'm stuck.
Yeah, that's a rough. It's a rough
There's
one.
a crazy, while you guys think of your answer, I'll tell you a crazy thing I learned by looking it up. There was this guy who, like, I guess during a war at some point, someone in his family had like lived on an island off the coast of some European, or off the coast of Britain. And then after this war was over, Britain was like, we want the island back. And this guy's like, now this is my island. And so he basically was like, I'm sovereign. This is my island. And it went to court because Britain really, and he like won. Because he was like, nobody but me and my family have lived on this island for like years. And so he's like his own country.
Yes, you can do that.
Weird?
Yeah, it's so cool. I was like, oh, life goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so is Jan, do you say A, B, or C?
I'm going A.
Okay. And Carrie?
There was a sovereign one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one I was thinking.
Okay.
I want to say 12 tribes, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to go with it anyway.
Let's see here. It is A, sovereign citizens.
JJ!
Hey!
Also, Steve is here. Hi, Steve.
Oh, look, my camera. There we go.
There we go.
A loose anti-government movement who adherents claim that they are not subject to U.S. law. Courts consistently reject their claims, and some events have become violent. Y'all, right now, I'm serious. There are 5 people in jail right now in Oklahoma because not because, but they are members of this cult group that are these sovereign citizens, and they killed. I had done a show about it. These 2 Kansas moms that they went to pick up one of the lady's children from the grandmother in Kansas. And anyway, this group intersected them and killed these 2 women, and they're part of this cult, this sovereign nations thing. Yeah, they don't believe that they have to have driver's license or tags on their vehicles or pay taxes. Another thing that was really weird though about this particular group is that they are anti-government and extreme. It said extreme. I'm just quoting what was told, but anyway, it said extreme MAGA. So I'm like, how do you be both anti-government?
What they mean is anti-democracy, pro-monarchy.
Yeah. But they, they don't believe that they should have to follow any rules. I guess, I don't know. And they're very religious. And I'm like, well, wasn't murder one of, the 10 commandments? We don't do that.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
Don't cheat. Don't murder.
Yeah. But there are several
respect your parents.
Unsolved cases around that area that they are now looking to see if they think that it could be members of this cult. So I'm still following it because it hasn't yet went to court. So I'm probably going to do a recap on it whenever it gets a little further along. But one of them, the grandma, which was actually the ringleader of the whole thing, she did plead guilty. So her part of it's over, but there's 4 other people, 3 men and 1 woman that are in on it too. And they shot and beat to death these 2 women and then put them in a deep freeze. Obviously it's out in the middle of nowhere, but in a deep freeze and dug a deep hole and buried them. And I mean, they were dead, which I was so glad that they were already gone because I was so fearful when they
Yeah.
found that they would have been, been buried alive or something. But yeah, they buried them in that, and it is a crazy, crazy,
That
crazy story.
is whack. Like
Yeah.
on a scary
So,
level.
keep watching, y'all, because I do have an update coming up before long on that one. It is terrifying.
Mm.
So, yeah. Okay. Now, number 21, right? Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, number 21.
Okay. Okay, a leader who claimed to resurrect the dead. Is it A, Jim Jones, B, Love Has Won, or C, both? So, Jan, do you think it's Jim Jones, Love Has Won, or both?
God.
Well, you got the magical sweat with that other group.
I don't remember hearing anything about resurrection and Jim Jones.
Well, maybe she hid that because she had another question.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I deep dove Jim Jones.
Yeah. A leader who claimed to resurrect the dead. Jim Jones, Love Has Won, or both? Yeah,
Okay,
Marilee,
the question
sovereign
says
citizens
a
are all
leader.
over the world. Mm-hmm. A leader.
And Jim Jones is the only leader that was mentioned there. So, all right, let's go with Jim Jones.
Okay, Jan says Jim Jones. Carrie?
Yeah, this is a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll go with B just because I've never heard of them, so I'm gonna go with B.
I'm gonna go with Jim Jones because Jan brings up a good point. Also,
it
it
was
was
restroom, guys. I'm sorry, don't be rude. I'm gonna run to the restroom. Okay.
That's okay.
how
Sorry.
dare you? No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I feel like with my dry sense of humor, and since my camera's not working, I have to caveat when I'm joking. Because, like, I feel like in the chat, a lot of people who know me really well are like, oh, that's clearly sarcastic. But I'll be in
Yeah.
other people's chats and they'll be like, you're so mean. I'm like, it was a joke.
Yeah. I get that
Also,
with you
it
too.
was Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It drives me crazy.
The answer is C.
Oh,
It was both. Love Has Won was that. What was her name? I forgot her name again. Where was it at? The one that she turned into jerky.
oh yeah, the lady, the Love for One lady. Well, I was like, for sure Jim Jones because he had his whole thing. But then I was like, wait, there was magical sweat. Did
Amy
the sweat
Carlson was
resurrect people? Like,
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm
Amy
sorry.
Carlson.
Like, I
think it
think
was worded badly because it was confusing the way because it did say, a leader, and then it just had,
I was
it should have
thinking
said
this.
like their leader or something, but then it wouldn't make sense. I don't know.
Like,
It
I
just
feel
worded
like I would be susceptible to like the cults that use self-help and then trick you into entering the cult.
wrong.
Like more than the cults that are like ingest this thing that is not ingestible. Like not drinking bleach, not drinking people's body fluids. That's weird. But I feel like the reason the ones that start with like meditation or self-help like
Yeah.
get people so easily is because for the first like 3 or 4 months you're in control.
Yeah.
And you feel better and they like love bomb you and do all this stuff. And so you feel like all the decisions you're making are yours. So I feel like that's why those cults are like a little bit harder to withstand because they get really good at like tricking you into it.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear, it was C. It was both.
I did hear, so I hope you didn't hear me go P.
Nope.
Because I didn't hear.
Nope. It says we've already talked a little bit about.
I was a little worried about that because I'm like, oh, shh.
We've already talked about
can
Love
hear
Has
that.
Won, but Jim Jones was the leader of the People's Temple, and in 1978, over 900 followers died in Jonestown's Guyana in a mass murder-suicide after years of escalating control and paranoia.
Sweaty mom jerky.
Oh, I know.
Ben.
It's Ben. I was gonna say that's Ben, right?
That's Ben. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking this too, like the reason it's so important to like still educate people about cults is because I feel like they're already targeting young people.
Mhm.
So it's like we have to let young people know, like, hey, when you're deciding if you're going to college, if you're deciding to go to trade school, if you're deciding a gap year working at Target, whatever, like be aware that like that is when you're most vulnerable, when you're like starting your life, and or like a lot of people who fell for Jim Jones's stuff were like single parents a lot, or they were having money trouble, or they were like in divorces.
Well, a lot of it with Jim Jones too is that he started out preaching about diversity and, completely against like racism and all of that. He was so I mean, I could the scary thing is that it really like I could have seen myself really buying into his group to begin with because he was preaching like the gospel and he was preaching, that racism was bad and sexism was bad and that all this was bad and he just wanted like this utopia kind of thing. He wanted everything to be great.
Yeah, and he wanted people
and it
to
just
like grow their own
really got
crops and do this stuff. And then he,
Right.
woo. The sad thing
Yeah.
about that is like the deaths that precursed the mass murder.
Mhm. Yeah.
He couldn't even, this is going to sound like a hot take because like the way I'm phrasing it, but like he was a coward. He couldn't even drink the Flavor Aid. He shot
Yeah.
himself in the head. So he didn't
Yeah.
even die
He
the
didn't
way
wanna-
that he forced
yeah.
other people to.
He wanted it fast.
And then what
not,
was so sad is like a senator had been super close to getting some people out of there and they were just mowed
and the
down. It
senator
was
was
so
actually
sad.
murdered too.
Yeah, he was too. It was so sad.
Wow. So, okay. Let's see here.
I'm so passionate about not
Maybe there's
having
just
people
one
get
too.
tricked by cults.
Oh no, there's not. Okay. There's more. Okay.
They're good people. That's the problem. They're good people. They just
Well,
wanna-
and
they
like I
wanna-
said a while ago, nobody joins a cult. Exactly. You don't join thinking you're joining a cult. You're
Nope.
Mm-mm.
a movement.
You want to help.
Yeah, a movement, a community,
Yep.
Or you want to help or you're vulnerable. You're
Mhm.
vulnerable somehow.
Mhm.
And they can
Sure.
sense it and they exploit it.
Yeah, they're predators. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 22, a belief that vaccines contain microchips for government tracking.
Oh my
Okay, is
God.
that
That
A, the
God.
anti-vax
What's her
conspiracy
name?
circles, B,
Jesus.
Scientology, or C, the Branch Davidians? So A, anti-vax conspiracy circles, Scientology, or the Branch Davidians?
I'm sorry. Can you say the question one more time?
Yeah, a belief that vaccines contain microchips for government tracking. So, Jan, what do you think?
I'll go with the conspiracy theory.
Okay. And Carrie?
If there was an option for Jenny McCarthy, I would choose that.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
I will go with conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
same. And I was going to say, yes, please like, subscribe. It's free. But if you don't, that's okay too, because we're not a cult.
Yeah. So it is A. I was thinking, man, if they are tracking me, they are so bored because I mean I go
I'm sorry. Is it
around
is
my
it that
house,
there's
that's about
micro
it.
like so are they saying I've been microchipped since I was a baby? Because I'm pretty sure I was vaccinated as a kid. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So they microchip the vaccines, but they also cause genetic disorders, question
know.
mark, that
Yeah.
have been scientifically proven for decades to be genetic.
I know.
They don't
It
like
says
science.
anti-vax microchip conspiracy. It's a modern day conspiracy theory with no scientific data and anything else to back it up. Surged during the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's dangerous. I think that's the most probably dangerous one that we've ever had. Honestly, think about that. I think that's very dangerous. There's no scientific proof, and it started with the pandemic. That's highly dangerous because
Yeah.
that really preys on
Click
people's like fear.
Click like to prevent the apocalypse. I do want to say though, like in the scale of things. So like if you think about like the scale of influenza in 1919, for example, like when it's mass amounts of people are dying without a medicine versus having people take this vaccine, no, it doesn't permanently protect you because unfortunately viruses evolve, right? Like they can't, they evolve into different forms. But I would rather, I guess, take a risk being vaccinated than die horribly. Because I caught COVID twice and I was vaccinated for it. And I fully think if I hadn't been vaccinated, it would have triggered my asthma so bad I would have been in the hospital.
Yeah, I got it once, and I
So-
really think if I hadn't have been vaccinated, as bad as it was, because
And then,
it
like,
was pretty bad.
I never had polio, mumps, measles, like these things that drive your temperature up so high and cause a bunch of brain damage. So it's like, I don't know. I think vaccines are necessary. But when it's the scale of like thousands of people are dying versus get this vaccine, I feel like getting the vaccine's a little less scary than all these people dying. Because a lot of people, like so many people were passing away, they couldn't even keep them in morgues. Like the morgues were so full, they couldn't.
I saw something the other day that I didn't know because, I said before that I had mumps 3 Christmases in a row. 3 Christmas
Oh my
mornings in a row.
God.
They said
That's
that if you got it
awful.
on both sides that you wouldn't get it again. And I woke up one Christmas morning with it. I don't remember which side. I'm just going to say left side. And the next Christmas morning, I woke up with it on the right. And I thought, boy, I've surely I am, immune to this by now. This was before I've had all my vaccines and everything, but anyway, the third Christmas, I woke up with it on both sides and I've never had it since. So I believe there is something, but I think you have to have it, now there's all these vaccines and stuff. But anyway, I read the other day that mumps could cause you to be blind or deaf or both, which I did not know.
Yeah, can get pretty serious.
Yeah.
Well, I also got diagnosed with cancer during COVID. So I was like,
me too.
I guess I'll risk the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I did too. And it actually worked out pretty good because my doctor was really a hard ass about me being around anybody. And she said, I mean, you just have to know, she has that kind of weird sense of humor too. And she goes, well, thank God for COVID because you can't go anywhere, and I'm like,
yeah, right.
And
Kind of
so
glad too. Like, I guess that was the prime time to be diagnosed and treated.
Yeah. So I was having this, what she said is the strongest chemo. And she was like, I do not want you around anyone that is not your immediate family and, that they're not out around everybody. And so I really, for months, over a year, didn't really go anywhere. And, but she was like, well, thank God for COVID because it's going to make it a whole lot easier. There's not a whole lot of places you can go right now. And I'm like, well, that's true. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all, we have 2 more.
Let's do it.
2 more. Number 23. Okay. It says, a group believed that children were spiritually corrupt and needed isolation from outsiders. Is it A, 12 Tribes, B, the Family International, or C, both?
Oh.
Children were spiritually corrupt and needed isolation from the outsiders. It seems like they would need to be like not from the outside. It seems like they would need, I guess that could be true though, but if they were already spiritually corrupt, were they protecting the children or the outsiders? Is what I'm
well, I think it's good that we don't understand it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So is it the 12 Tribes, the Family International, or both? So, Jan, what do you think?
I'm going to go with both.
Jan? Okay, and Carrie?
You know, I'm going to go with B. I don't know anything about either one of them. I'll go with B though, because that's the first time I've even heard that name.
Okay.
For that
I'm
Imogen?
gonna go with C because there's a both in there.
Okay, and the answer is C. So, but I do want to talk a little bit about the 12 tribes because we've kind of already talked about some of the others. So, anyway, the 12 tribes is a communal religious movement founded in the 1970s known for strict lifestyle rules and controversial child rearing practices and operating the Yellow Deli and a lot of bakeries in a lot
Oh
of
yeah, the
large
yellow.
cities.
I remember hearing about the Yellow Deli.
They're actually in
So they're still
they have,
active.
yeah, very. They have a group in Savannah, Georgia, which completely freaked me out because I was just like, oh my God. And what gets me is you know how cult they tend to, go for the younger generations, like college age is prime cult recruitment age. And Savannah is they have Savannah College of Art and what is it? Art and yeah, what's the last one? And design, yeah. Savannah College of Art and Design. For some reason I couldn't come up with the end of it. But anyway, so there's tons of these real like artsy, kind of hippie, new age acting, college kids around this town and the 12 tribes has opened up a bakery slash diner type thing or cafe type thing right in the middle because SCAD isn't like there's not like a campus. Their campus is all over the city in all these historic buildings. So I mean when you're walking around in Savannah, you're walking around on campus. You just, it's just these individual buildings are college, the historic part. But anyway, so this 12 tribes has opened up a bakery slash, cafe right down there where all the kids are. And they will actually go out in the park where all the kids hang out in the evenings and the weekends. And they're playing like that, hacky sack and golf, frisbee golf and all this stuff and singing songs and all that. And they like commune with these kids and then they get them into this cult and they go around and they buy up all of these historic homes that have 10 12 bedrooms in them and they move all these people into move them in communally and have them and this is happening in Savannah and it just
And
really
it was
breaks my
founded in
heart.
Chattanooga, Tennessee in the 70s. So
Yeah.
it's like spread across, like they opened the delis across the US, like a food chain, basically.
Yeah.
But they operate like their pamphlet spreading and stuff like through the deli.
Yeah.
And then
And
they were broken. Like, I feel like they were in the
conscription
news in the last
companies.
decade because
Yeah.
people came forward and were like, hey, we escaped. And like they abused us really bad as kids.
Yeah. There's just a lot.
It's
They
so
believe
sad.
in like, well, they live communally. You can be married and all that and you raise your children, but the entire whatever lives in your house and so there's a lot of them in each house. And whoever lives in that home has equal access to your children. So they don't just have like their original parents, but all of these other people that live in this home can also, you know, correct
And I
them, spank
believe it was
them, all these
loosely
things.
inspired by the 12 tribes from the Bible,
Yeah.
like the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Ben.
Oh, we didn't get earlier when I was saying like, oh, we didn't get a FLDS, but we were blessed with IBLP. So we were like, no FLDS in Illinois. But then Bill Gothard like founded his cult in Oak Brook, Illinois, and
Wow.
had like an offshoot business. And the reason he got busted was other people not involved in the cult were hired to work at this office and never paid. So they filed through the state of Illinois to sue him for wages because they never got paid for being receptionists or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how that got like blown wide open. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number 24, y'all, the last one is a cult that believed in an invisible galactic federation guiding humanity. Is it A, realism, B, universe people, or C, both?
You're good at throwing us the both options.
Not what I expected either.
Me either.
I was thinking, oh, this is going to be Scientology.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me
same.
too.
We're like, there's
Yeah.
got to be another question for that, right?
It says a cult that believed in an invisible galactic federation guiding humanity. Realism, universe people, or both? So,
I'm gonna go
Jan,
with-
what do you think?
I'm
JJ?
going with B.
Okay, and Carrie?
You know, I'm gonna go with, I guess, both, but I find it kind of frightening because it's so
Yeah.
similar to like I was thinking we're going to go
Yeah.
Scientology, and it's obviously one of those, and that's really frightening. And I haven't even heard of either one of them, but I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with both.
Okay. And
I'm also
Indigo?
going with both.
What was really frightening about this to me is that it is C, it is both. So that means that there are at least 3 cults out there
Right.
that have kind of, got some of the same.
Well, what these
So-
people do, because in my opinion, as a normal person not licensed in psychology, my just opinion is these narcissistic people don't want to join some other dude's cult because they want to be in control and they don't want someone telling them what to do. So they kind of like go and they hear what these people say and they're like, oh yeah, I could definitely see meditation being a cool thing to put in my cult. And then they go over here and they're like, well, I don't like what this guy does here, so I'm going to change it when I do my cult. So that's why there's like similar, like aliens. Like we said, there's like 3 main things. Either they're God
Yeah.
or Buddha or some reincarnation of some god.
Mm-hmm.
There's aliens or there's the end of the world. And some of them mix and match.
So I do want to talk about realism, though, because we've talked
Yeah.
about some of the others. So it was founded in the 1970s by Claude Burlhan, and it teaches that life on Earth was scientifically created by extraterrestrials and promotes human cloning and contact with alien creators. And I accidentally lied. There is another one. There's one more question. So we have
We have
another left.
extra credit.
I
But
thought
it's
you said there was
credit.
25.
I said
Right?
24, but then I thought
You
well,
did?
25, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You
This
got
is
my
the extra.
brain.
This
You
is
got
the
my
extra
brain,
credit.
Susie.
Yeah. Okay, so 25. And then I'm going to let you all talk amongst yourselves after we get this one while I add it up. So, anyway, 25 is a group believed that their leader was a living goddess who controlled the weather. Mark.
Bananas.
So, A is love has won. B is Sharinkio. I can't pronounce that. Or C, made up. They believed their leader was a living goddess who controlled the weather. Love has won, Sharikio, or made up. Jan,
A.
Carrie,
I'll go with made up because it's a female that's the leader.
I'm going to go with A
it is A.
because there's magical sweat and
Crazy.
reincarnation.
Magical sweat. Remember?
Magical
Members
sweat,
believe-
reincarnation, and now she can control the weather.
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
Members
makes
believe that leader Amy
perfect
Carlson
sense.
could influence the weather and global events.
Wow.
That cult caused a lot of people to have severe eating disorders.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, y'all
There's
talk
just
amongst
so much.
yourself. I'm gonna.
Oh, did you guys ever hear of, okay, I hate when people misuse the word twin flame, which is it's a spiritual term which means essentially like your equal and peer is supposed to reflect you back at yourself so that you can figure out how to grow. But a lot of people use twin flame in exchange for like soulmate. And there's this cult on YouTube called the Twin Flames cult, and they got busted and a documentary was made about them. I want to say like 2 years ago now. And it's wild because these two people started as separate YouTubers. I'm talking with my hands, which you can't see, but I promise you the hands are waving. But anyway, so this guy starts this YouTube channel. He's like, I'm so into the earth and natural living, blah, blah, blah. And then he meets this girl. They get together, move to Hawaii, and start this cult online where they then influence a bunch of people. It gets really bananas. They start like forcing their members to like break up with their spouses and marry other people and like have this theory that like your soulmate's out there somewhere, they just don't know it's you. They get people like arrested for stalking because they convince them through brainwashing that like strangers are their soulmate and it's okay to harass them. It's crazy. It's still ongoing. Anyway, Twin Flames
Didn't
cult.
they also
It's crazy.
Didn't they convince some of their members that they were actually gay when they weren't?
Yes. It got so deep with like the emotional mental manipulations that they were doing, and it was really sad.
Took it to a whole new level.
They did. It's scary.
You know, I wanted to share like a moment that I had, and maybe I'm being neurotic, so I'll shut up. Anyway, I was at a gas station and pumping gas, and there was these two young men. They probably were maybe 20 years old, and they're dressed nice, ties, whatever. And they said, "Hi," and I said, "Hi," you know. And he's like, "Would you like to? My name is so and so. Would you like to come to my church?" And I said, "Well, what church is it?" And they were Mormons, right? And they said, "Have you ever heard of this?" And they gave me a card. And I said, "Yes, I have." And they said, "What have you heard about it?" And my mind wanted to go, "It's a cult." But I was like, "No, don't." And I said, "Well, I haven't heard much good things about it." And they talked to me and I talked to them and whatever. And they wanted me to go to their church. I wasn't going to go do that, whatever. But at the end of it, I said, "Well, you know, I don't want to go to I'm not going to go to your church, but how about you pray for me? Just pray for me." Because I did tell them, I said, "I'm not a believer." That's what I told them. And I said, "But I want you to pray for me that one day I will be." And like their face like brightened up, like they were so happy. And these were young men. And I actually I thought, oh my gosh, like I felt guilty, like they now that you have to go back and go, well, we tried, but at least I was like, I don't know, I felt so good. So I told, like, when I went in the gas station, I said, these boys, men, whatever, I said boys, were talking to me out there. And she said, "Oh yeah, they come in all the time." And I left my name and phone number, and I said, "If you see them again, tell them to call me." Because I felt so bad, like I didn't want them to go back and be like, "Well, we tried, but we didn't get anyone."
Yeah,
You
but
know?
just to say that they could pray for you, to use a Scientology kind of thing, it would be a gain, it'd be a good, it was like it should be a
I would
point
hope
in there,
so.
it should be
I
like
mean, I
something
think
good in their point.
But you know what? When I said that, I meant it, because I've been angry, let's say, like, and so I would be like, "Nah, I don't believe, I don't believe." That wasn't true. I really do. I was just angry. So when I said, "Well, just pray for me that I will," like
Yeah.
it was really truly a nice moment that I had with these young men. And I don't know, I was always afraid that like maybe they would be in trouble because they didn't recruit or they didn't get someone to come to their church, but I don't know. I just
Yeah.
want to say that it's been on my head. So
Yeah. Well, I have a winner, but let me tell you, it was actually very close. It was actually very, very close. All three of you were very close, actually.
oh
But the
wow.
winner is Indigo.
Oh, Cults.
So, Indigo, if you will message
Should be a
me,
professor.
I do
Oh
need
my
your
gosh.
address so I can send you the prize. I will get with you tomorrow and let you know what that is
Oh,
because
cool.
I am
I
waiting
didn't know
on
there was a prize.
confirmation
I missed
about
that bit. I was just
yeah,
having fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
will
was
say for you, Carrie, though, like, I mean, I think that's the same approach my mom took, right? She's like, I'm not going to be a Jehovah's Witness,
mhm.
but come into my house, have a lemonade,
Yeah.
tell me about what you believe. And then
Yeah.
she would tell them, I do believe in something greater than myself,
Mhm.
just not the same way that you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
They're
think the
just
thing is like most of these cults, they do send people out to recruit.
Yeah.
If you don't become recruited, I don't think you should feel guilty about it, but
mhm.
you handled it well because you showed them you were willing to listen. Or like when you said, oh, pray for me, maybe one day I will believe. It kind of showed them like, okay, not everybody is mean. And
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's my
like
whole
the
point.
impulse is to be like, you're in a cult, you're
Yeah, but
brainwashed.
no.
But the problem with approaching it the second way is that they're brainwashed.
Mhm.
So
Well, and
you telling them that,
I
or
think
if
that you
you,
lose
like you
them.
said, I haven't heard anything good about it, and then open the floor for discussion, which I also think
Yeah,
is important.
I do too. Because the
Well,
thing is if you have a discussion with them, again, like how my bulldog is trying to get in my lap, and she's extremely heavy.
I get it. I
Hi,
get it.
puppy.
Yeah.
Mine's been trying to bust through the door. I get
Oh, you
it.
have a doggy?
I don't know
I
if
have
I
a bulldog,
way down
Oh,
just like
here.
Susie.
I think me
Oh,
and
look at
Jersey
the
Dan should
face.
also
hold
get
on.
bulldogs, and then we
Hold
could be
on.
a cult with
I gotta.
bulldogs. Just kidding.
Oh, she's sliding down. There's
Oh, oh my god.
Oh, look at that face. Is she a Frenchie
Oh,
or
she's an
British?
English bulldog.
English? Yeah, yeah.
She's about 100
yes.
pounds.
Oh, they're so beautiful. But
You
so I'm
always
sorry,
wants to be
Susie.
in
Go
my lap.
ahead. What were you saying?
No, but I think that just like how I was saying that if we yell at the Scientologists, we have just proven ourselves to be what they think we are. So these others, like the Mormons or the Jehovah Witness and different ones, they already believe that we are evil or
Yes, they're trying to
whatever
save us.
their
Yes.
you know. And so if we we could probably, it's kind of like with Christians, how we say that, some Christians scare more people away from Christ than bring them to Christ because of how they act. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
the same kind of deal with this. If we scare people away by being what they think we're going to be, then we
Mm-hmm.
have we've lost all credibility. But if we're halfway decent to people, even
Yeah.
if we don't invite them into our homes, if we're just polite about it,
Yep.
then that it might be in the back of their head somewhere that the next time that they hear that these are, they're evil people, then maybe they'll be like, well, they didn't seem so evil. And I don't know. That's just
Oh, I will say
how I
No, I
also
agree. I
for
agree with you. I really do. And I could tell like there were two young men. One was really into it, really
yeah.
into it. The one that I said, well, I haven't heard much good about it.
Yeah.
He was more chill. The other guy said, well, our leader, blah, 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 blah. He started going into it. And it was
Yeah.
almost like mafia style. The one that was like, kind of like, dude, like, I've been in this longer than you. He like looked at the kid and he was like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I thought, oh, like,
Yeah.
because I will say too, there is
they're
a
trying to
difference
help me though. They
between
were trying to help me. They believed what they were doing was trying to help me. And
yeah.
good, good, good. I
But
love
there
that.
is a
Thank you.
differentiation between LDS and FLDS.
Yeah.
Just in case viewers don't
Yeah.
know that, there's a reason they're called fundamentalist Latter-day
Mhm.
Saints.
Yeah.
Just saying, just like
What
it's
was, isn't Latter-day Saints, isn't there, okay. I thought there was a different, it's fundamental Latter-day Saints?
yeah,
There's
that's
two.
the FLDS. That was a branch that was
FLDS.
started by Warren Jeff's dad because he broke off from the
That's who
LDS.
they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God,
he's
the
a big
baby.
baby.
I have to, oh my
She
God.
wants in my lap and she's trying to jump.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
she's
gonna
like,
happen.
Mom, you've been away long enough. Look at me,
Yeah,
I'm
she says,
so
quit
old. I'm like,
talking.
huh?
Oh, I have glasses in general. I just have bad eyes.
So do I. Wear contacts.
Well,
and
guys,
things.
this was so fun, and
It
I
was
will
fun.
absolutely get with Indigo tomorrow and let you know what your prize is. I thought I was going to
Sounds
have
good.
it here, not have it here, but have a picture of it to show you, and that didn't get done today. So
That's all
you need to
right.
get it sent to me. So anyway,
Just text me.
I will, but I will need your mailing address at some point. I'll let you know.
Yes, I
so
will
that
send
can
that to
get
you.
that to you. So anyway, thank you guys. This was so fun. I really,
This was
really
fun. It was good to
had
see you,
fun.
like everyone in chat,
Yeah.
but
I really
especially
enjoyed
Brian and
listening to the
Steve.
chat too. Y'all were pretty smart too. You were guessing a lot of them. Except for Ben.
Thank you for the invite, Susie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it was good to meet you,
Oh my
Carrie.
gosh. She
You
is like,
too.
she's like, look at this. Like,
We should do a video call sometime when my camera is
she's so
working. I
sweet.
can meet you in person.
oh my
she's
goodness.
so
That was
sweet.
a big kiss.
Go get that baby.
Ah,
Her name
I
is
love it.
Tot.
I'm gonna
I
go
think
hug
people
mine.
with pets should do a pet stream where you just
JJ.
let okay.
She's like 6 years
JJ,
old. So
fist bump.
she's yeah. Ooh, y'all.
Oh, I fist bumped,
That's
but
my
my
girl.
camera's broken.
Well,
All right,
thank
guys.
you everybody for being here, and we will be back tomorrow. So I have a really fun guest coming up, and I've got I don't know 3 or 4 guests coming up in the next week and a half. So lots of fun. Oh, she is really excited. She
All right.
is a cute puppy.
Good night, guys. I love
Okay,
you.
good night, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody. It was good to meet you
Bye.
and see you guys.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.